None of them are anything more than hypotheses. None of them directly contradict one another. Correct. For example, there's a cosmic string theory and a wormhole theory. The time travel is possible as a thought experiment, but no one has a clue where you would go to get cosmic strings or exotic matter. In other words, it's not realistic. There's also something the Kudisa told me in the Alpha Woodline. The Kudisa on the screen was unmoved. Probably because scientists haven't discovered something important yet. And you think it's possible to create a time machine? You don't know for sure that it's impossible, that's what I said, remember? Yeah, her opinion was slightly different. Just because I was in the beta world line, or perhaps... Hey, Yajo. You know she's made from a copy of the original's memories, right? I'm looking at the Logitech camera. It's really throwing me off because I have my Logitech camera literally above where the camera is on my TV. Of course. And I can't think of a good example, but... Is it like identical twins? Can't tell them apart at birth, but as they grow, differences start to form? Something like that? Still investigating that, but... If the memories they build up are different, I think that of course they become something different from the original human. The professor agrees with me. See. It was then that I heard the door on the other side of the partition slam shut. Is that the professor? From the last sound of the footsteps, I had assumed so. Could definitely hear somebody stomping around inside. A heavy knock, the door to the booth flung open. Lintalo. Lintalo? Professor opened his arms wide as he came inside. He grabbed my hand and began to wave it around. I didn't realize he was this friendly. I seemed to think he was giving me a handshake, but it felt like I was being walked over by a pro wrestler.
Hey boy, what's up?
I'm fine, thanks.
Fine, thank you. And you?
No, he was speaking English. I bet your English is terrible. Son of Christina. Oh no, I was so focused on the professor that I used my old nickname for her. It's nothing, don't worry about it. I am worried about it. Why am I Christina? I told you it's nothing. You're freaking out a lot over nothing. Just shut up, Christine. Kirisima, who both seemed lost in thought. You called her Christina, huh? You too, just drop it. I don't want any more questions about this. Since the professor was here, I decided to ask more about how Amadeus' memories worked. Professor, is it possible for Amadeus' memories to be externally modified? Professor wasn't listening to my question. He'd be frantically searching his pockets for something. When I think of it, I didn't see that translator device on his ear. Must have been looking for it, which meant odds were good, he didn't even hear my question. Modifying my memories? Theoretically possible. Lisa herself answered in the professor's place. For example, it would be possible to make me think that my name was Christina. But memory data isn't like normal data, much more complex. I'm aware of no successful attempts to modify it. Even if the attempt succeeded, I would notice it and repair myself. I keep logs in an area that only I can access. In other words, a secret diary. If there was a discrepancy between my current memories and my diary, a very high probability I'd become suspicious. What's more, my memories are backed up at regular intervals. Even if they were altered beyond the point where I could self-repair, I would still be able to restore them. I would lose any memories that had formed between then and the last backup though. Regardless of the topic of discussion, it felt strange. What Maho had said before she loaded Kurisu was true. I was starting to feel like I was chatting with the real Kurisu. Where she wouldn't let you get a word in edgewise once she started talking about science was exactly like the real Kurisu. Interesting though. And towards Kurisu and spoke. You're able to consider yourself objectively as a machine. From what I've seen in books and comics, I'd expect you to say I'm not a machine. I'm a human. That's pure nonsense. Even humans speak of themselves as a combination of hardware and software, right? Just call it biology and psychology. What's the difference? I see. That would come back to anyone I know, isn't she? You heard this? Kurisu turned towards Maha, whose CGI is big and round, though it was really just a camera sensor moving. No, Maha. It may not be any of my business. But you should watch what you say. Finally got your chance. What if he stops liking you? Come on, don't bring that up again. It's what I find most interesting right now. What I find most meaningless right now. But this is the last chance you'll ever get. You're the one who needs to learn to watch what you say. Luskinen was clapping his hands together and laughing. I had to chuckle a little too. Both the three of us, including the professor, talked to Kurisu, discussing technical subjects and making small talk. I knew it had been almost an hour. I felt a little sad when Maho told me that it was time to stop. A single hour, the strangeness I felt about Amadeus had disappeared, and it felt like I was really talking to Kurisu. The Luskinen stopped me before I left. They're interested in becoming a tester? It was in my head when I heard the professor speak through a translator. Amadeus doesn't have a lot of conversation samples. A lot of the kids in my lab helping as much as they can, but it's not enough. Amadeus is still in the research stage. We can't just let anyone talk to it. I want you, Litalo, to help us, since you were her friend. Remember that they mentioned something about being a tester at the party, so this is what they were talking about. Professor and I will be staying in Japan for a while. We'd like you to be a tester while we're here. Your job will just be talking to Kurisu. There's no real quota, just talk to her when you feel like it. Twice a month. I want you to report on your testing to me and the professor. And I'm sorry, but we can't pay you. I want you to keep that in mind when you decide. Well, that's cool to ask you to talk to an AI that's perfectly identical to your dead friend. If you're not interested, feel free to turn us down. Remember what I had felt like to talk to Kurisu. The monitor was just about to turn off. What Kurisu had said. We're again sometime, Rentaro Okabe. What I'd hoped for when I came here, wasn't it? I'll do it. Please let me do it. Thought I was ready when I accepted the job. I had never expected this. It was an incoming call on my smartphone. Hello? It's Makise. Kurisu was displayed on the screen. Yes, it was Amadeus. The app the professor had given me allowed me to access the servers at Victor Kondria University from anywhere 24 hours a day. Of course you'll be able to contact Kurisu. But Kurisu will also sometimes contact you. When that happens, talk to her. This I hadn't predicted. Never thought she would call me. That her face would be displayed on the screen. Could I have introduced myself with, "It's Christina"? Looked really mad. Guess why? I had gotten 8 calls from Kurisu and I had ignored them all. I heard Dr. Leskin explain things, so I thought I'd call once myself to make a proper introduction, but I didn't expect you to refuse to pick up 8 times. Why aren't you saying anything? Looking at a realistic girl on my smartphone with so many people around was pretty embarrassing. Well, if you don't want to talk, that's fine, but... What's with you? I was sure this was my chance to talk more than usual. I feel like an idiot. Know that during the test period, I'm always connected with you. Contact me whenever you feel like it. I'm busy, so I don't know if I'll always be able to answer your calls. Man, what is this? More than that strangely polite, friendly Kurisu from yesterday. Angry. Stubborn. More curious than anyone. The way she seemed to be constantly challenging you. Anyway, goodbye. This really was Kurisu Makise. That was the girl I'd spent those 3 weeks with. Lab member 4, my assistant, Christina, aka Kurisu Makise. Her movements were a little more jerky than I'd seen on the computer in Dr. Leskin's office, but evidently that was because of the smartphone. Alone was enough to make me feel like my heart was being squeezed dry. I stood still, holding the smartphone tight. Karin. What's wrong, yeah? Oh, I'm coming! Thought to myself as I ran to catch up with the others. Maybe Dr. Leskinen was right. This test would be a very cool thing for me. But even so... 3 drinks. In my mind, I was already starting to think about what I would talk about with Kurisu. Oh, Hiajo was remembering. She was remembering the last time she'd spoken to Kurisu Makise in person. Oh, we get to see some of the past things. Seriously, why do I have to do this now of all times? That night, Kurisu was whispering to herself a lot. Mitochondria, University's Brain Science Institute. Maho and Kurisu worked in the same room at the lab. Thus, Maho was forced to hear Kurisu's angry mumblings whether she wanted to or not. But it was fine, but she'd been acting like this all day, and it was keeping Maho from concentrating. Finally snapped and turned away from the paper she was writing. App is gonna use her new art style. Hey, Kurisu. English was the language most commonly used at Mitochondria in university. When the other staff and professors were around, she'd always use English, but when it was just her and Kurisu, Maho would often speak in Japanese. Just stop it. Stop what? Kurisu stopped messing with the luggage and turned around. So loud that I can't concentrate. I need to turn this paper in by tomorrow. Was I talking to myself? Want me to sue you for violating the local noise ordinance? Sorry. Kurisu apologized and started to scratch the back of her head. Gotcha. Maho decided to calm down by standing up and going to the shelf where the research notes were kept. There were several books she needed for her paper, but they were all up on the top shelf. It's someone's idea of a prank, she said, as she stared up at the heavy book. She decided to try and reach for it, but no matter how she stood on her toes, she came nowhere out close. Tiny little arms seemed to be to her like dead branches waving in the wind. She bit her lip. If she skipped grades to go to college and then come to work at this lab, she'd had more chances than ever before she'd hate her small stature. Whenever she walked outside after dark, the cops would stop her. Even with her ID, she couldn't get into bars, and buying medicine and alcohol at drugstores was a pain. The most humiliating part was that no matter where she went, everyone thought she was in middle school. Nobody believed her when she said she was 20. Everything in America was just too big. Can I get that for you? Lisa noticed the trouble Maho was having and came over. Maho was stubborn and decided to pretend nothing was wrong. It's fine, I'm not having any problems. There you are. I'm not. You sure? I'm sure. But there's a book on the shelf I want too, so... Lisa easily reached up to the highest shelf and grabbed the book Maho wanted. It must be nice to be tall. No, I'm not really that... Oh. Lisa covered her mouth when she realized she'd said something she shouldn't have. Thanks. That was a big help. If you need something in Japan, tell me. I'll send it. I will. Thank you. Lisa handed over the book as she spoke, and then suddenly her eyes went wide and began to sparkle. Hey Maho, about what we were just talking about. What were we just talking about? Talking to yourself. Oh. But Kirisa had come up with a new idea. A regular occurrence for Kirisa, and Maho was used to it. Wouldn't that be proof of a self? Amadeus? Yes. Yeah, and if she started talking to herself, I'd be pretty surprised. No matter how advanced an AI was, it wouldn't talk to itself unless you programmed it to do that, and there was no need or even a point to a feature like that. When the AI started talking to itself, that might be a good indication that there was a self to talk to. Maho hesitated to agree with her. Watch what you say here. Don't forget that there are a lot of people who think that a soul is something God gives to humanity. That's right, isn't it? Lisa's expression dimmed. Lisa and Maho were both treated as heretics in the lab, especially since they were Japanese and women. Lisa was simply too talented. But he ever actually did anything, but a lot of the old scientists were definitely avoiding her. The Leskinen was the chief scientist, and the fact that he liked the two of them was all that let them do the research in peace. The other scientists heard what Kirisa had just said. Who knows what they'd do? Maho patted Kirisa on the shoulder. Did she even reach? Well, go have a good time in Japan and refresh yourself. I'm not happy about that. Hi, I think you'll have fun. If I'm doing an exchange, it should be a graduate school. Why high school? It has to be high school, right? By Japanese standards, you should still be in high school. It's just that the professor is doing something nice for you. Maho remembered what Dr. Leskinen had said. Lisa has a fragile personality. All the bickering in the lab is putting her under a lot of stress, and she's at her limit. It might ruin her as a researcher. What the professor had said, he was really worried about her. You have to go to Japan in July anyway, right? So it's perfect timing. Yeah, I'm actually kind of down about that too. The Akihabara Technophone, was that it? I'm not used to giving lectures. I don't know what to do. Now I get published in Science, expect a lot more of this. You need to practice. I'd rather not. Kurisu whispered to herself. Her didn't like being around lots of other people either, so she knew how Kurisu felt. But there were a lot of scientists who wanted to be published in a major journal and go on to give public lectures. And she'd beaten out many of them to win that honor. People were jealous. You need to fulfill responsibilities, even if just to shut them up. Maybe I'm not that much better though. Maho suddenly laughed a little and hated herself for doing it. Maybe I'm just as jealous as they are. That feeling, which was a little like fear, something that she always felt. The girl in front of her was just that different from Maho. Someone she could never reach no matter how hard she tried. Someone who'd surpassed everything she'd ever done almost instantly. Senpai? Maho? She's a senpai. I don't know why they translated to Maho. Lisa was peering into her face, confused. Maho felt flustered. Are you meeting your dad in Japan? You'd heard that Kurisu's parents weren't divorced, but they were separated. Her mom was still in America, and her dad was in Japan. After Maho said that, she wondered if that was too personal a question. Kurisu smiled a lot. Actually, I got an invitation from him. Oh yeah? Launching a new theory this summer. I'm thinking of going to see the announcement. A new theory? Lisa's smile changed into a small expression of consternation. I haven't heard the details yet. I know it's got something to do with the theory of relativity. Yeah? Maho felt like she was hiding something, but didn't question her anymore. Anyway, take care. I'll be expecting presents. What do you want? And since you're going to Akihabara, I wanted something rare. You know a lot about Akihabara, right? Ah, why do you say that? You're always reading those signs during breaks. Amadeus tell you that? You wouldn't do that. Sometimes I'm right behind you and you're so busy watching videos that you don't even notice. Can't believe you found out. Damn my carelessness. Oh, I miss you, Karisu. I miss you. Karisu actually seemed upset for once. Really surprised Maho. Maho, please. Don't tell the others. I think it's really something you need to hide, but... The idea of sharing a secret with Karisu made Maho happy. Got it. I won't tell anyone. Thanks so much. Karisu seemed genuinely relieved. Maho continued. Hey. Once you get back from Japan, let's find out if Amadeus can talk to herself. Okay. Lisa had a very happy look on her face. The face of a born scientist who loved to explore the unknown more than anything in the world. The smile was as innocent as that of a child who'd just been given a new toy. Very beautiful. And it was one of the reasons that Maho liked the younger researcher quite a bit. But the promise the two of them made would never be fulfilled. In fact, they would never meet again. Like she was thinking about Karisu more and more since she'd come to Japan. I didn't know if it was because she was in Japan. She was talking with the Amadeus Karisu more often. Maybe. Was it because she'd met the young man named Rintaro Okabe? He knows things about Karisu that I don't. Huh. Came back the first day they'd met, she'd broken down and cried right in front of him. Only she didn't really want to remember. Chased the memories away out of embarrassment. You're thinking of Okabe, weren't you? She snapped her head towards the PC monitor. I was in the middle of a conversation with Karisu. Yeah, that's right. She shrugged her shoulders and tried to ignore Karisu's mischievous smile. Don't you think it's strange that Dr. Luskinen's got such a high opinion of him? He handed over your access rights to a guy he'd only met twice. Really wise to trust him so much? Looks like a nice person. Yeah, I can't tell if he's got any ambition or not. Like I don't really understand him. Do you like him? Would you cut it out? Maho brought her face close to the monitor and glared. Lisa seemed unconcerned. There's no real need to hide it, is there? I don't understand why you didn't want to say anything yesterday when he was right in front of you. Now it's just the two of us. So interesting, this game actually shows you the perspectives of not just Rintaro. Pretty cool. Lisa may not have looked like someone who would, but she really enjoyed this sort of gossip. Maybe girl talk was the right word. Maho sighed and sat back in her chair. The creaking sound echoed throughout the empty office. I really don't feel that way about him. I still don't even really know who he is. I see. Well, that makes sense. To let the matter drop. It bothered Maho a little. But what does interest me? What is it? No, it's nothing.
なんでもないわ。
Oh, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about something Vince since yesterday, to the point where she'd even put off her research. What kind of relationship was there between Kurisu and Okabe? What was Kurisu feeling in the days before she died? I would have liked to ask Okabe if she could.
先輩、
Uh-huh.
私の
Did my original and Okabe know each other?
知り合いだったんですか？
Maho shivered. It was as if Kurisu had been reading her mind. How could you
どうしてわ
tell?
かったの？岡部さんの
I
話
came to that conclusion after listening to Okabe and hearing your response.
状況証拠を
It's all just circumstantial evidence, but do you want me to show my proof anyway?
別にいいわ。
It's fine. Knowing you, the
あ
conclusion
な
is
たのこと
perfect.
だから反証の余地もないでしょ。
Way they use words like proof in normal conversations showed that both Maho and Kurisu were scientists at heart.
相手だけが一方
He has memories of me that I don't possess.
持っているのでは
It's likely to cause problems with our conversations.
可能性が高いです。彼と話してい
I leave it up to you how to deal
ど
with
う
it.
するのかはあなたに任せる。岡部さんの方から
You may bring it up, possibly, and if you want, you can ask
な
him.
んならあなたから聞いてみてもいいわ。
Maho still didn't know if Okabe would even access Amadeus at all. They weren't forcing him to. Hmm.
知らない
Feigning ignorance is the same as lying, isn't it?
嘘をついているのと同じことになりますよね。興味深いデータ
I should be able to get some good data, I think. Yes, it was interesting, but what was her opinion as a That was her opinion as a researcher working on Amadeus. How would Rentaro Okabe feel about it? Wouldn't this be rubbing salt on the wounds in his heart? I realized she was getting much too sentimental.
やっぱり
Maybe it's because I'm in Japan.
日本に来たせいなのかもしれないわね。
In a week since she'd arrived, the first thing she'd planned to do was offer flowers. She still couldn't bring herself to visit the Akihabara radio building, the place where Kurisu had died. Dude, that's not Nay, is it? Sun was setting earlier now that the summer had arrived. Tatsumi Nakase. Wait a minute, that name sounds familiar. Wasn't that one of, Mayuri's cosplay friends? Or am I thinking of a different one? Tatsumi Nakase was surprised by how quickly it got dark when she was out rummaging through the cosplay shops. The weird suitcase on the ground next to her felt heavy. She'd done her best to jam everything she'd bought today inside, and it was bursting at the seams. Just spending a whole day shopping with her cosplay friends was a lot of fun. She felt tired, but it was a good tired. Her footsteps were light as she walked back to the station. Yep. Ibuki, look like you're about to start skipping around, don't you? Can tell. It was so much fun doing all that shopping today. I'm so satisfied with what we got. I usually had a lot of fun shopping too. Thanks to Fubuki. Thanks for coming. I'll do anything for you, Mayushi. Fubuki tried to grab her friend Mayuri for a hug. Mayuri dodged out of the way. Mayuri may have looked like an airhead, but she was actually quite athletic. Fubuki, by the way, was Katsumi Nakase's cosplay name. Katsumi was in her second year of high school. She and Mayuri were the same age, but were total opposites. Katsumi was boyish and athletic, and when she cosplayed as a male character, she attracted more female Kamiko than male ones. Kamiko. Those who appear in mass at cosplay and anime events and use expensive SLR cameras to take pictures of scantily clad cosplayers. So-called low-angles men who take upscale pictures of cosplayers Nagihabara and Hakamima are not considered true Kamiko. A Kamiko must be a gentleman at all times. Who the hell are you? We don't have to worry about Winter Kamima, do we? Both friends are going to cosplay shops all along Yugawaya, Maiden's Road, and Tokyo Hands and Ikebukuro. They moved to Akihabara and visit several more. It was all part of the final preparation for Winter Kamima. Yeah, but it's Mayuri doing almost all the work. Hiding? Don't push yourself too hard, okay, Mayuri? Kaede sounded a little worried. Her name was Kaede Kurushima, not Akamatsu, and she used her real name as a cosplay pseudonym. 3 years older than Katsumi and in college. Kaede was extremely feminine and her measurements were just like the ones magazine models claimed to have. She was very shy. I had tried many times to persuade her to enter the pageant at her college, but she'd always refused, saying normal events are kind of scary. But even so, orderings. Cosplaying at Kamimon with the rest of them was something she'd looked forward to. And I'm Mayuki. So why don't we all help Mayuri and make the outfits together this time? And Mayuki proposed. She had a very noble, elegant features, but the rest of her was easygoing and laid back. Though Katsumi was a fellow girl, she still thought Mayuki was beautiful. Even her light blue penetrating eyes lacked the arrogance that beautiful women usually possessed. They were filled with... fucking... skip the thing. Wait, hold on. They were filled instead with a friendly light. Her real name was Yuki Amane. Thus we have... wait a minute. Wait, what? Oh, wait, okay, sorry. I'm thinking of, Yamane from the Steins Gate World line, and that was a year in the future, so of course she's gonna look different here if she's a year younger. She was a senior at Meiji University, and in the same club as Kaede, she was the oldest of the 4. She once tried to give up cosplay and focus on job hunting. Just 6 months she'd given up on work and gone back to costuming. And an unemployed person is seeking unemployment. when he's seeking unemployment. Hey, can I get fired from this job? Oh, can I get fired from this job? Can I quit this job? How long can I stay without a job? Then used to prefer to college kids looking for the first real career-oriented job. For 6 months she'd given up on work and gone back to costuming. Since then, she'd been spending more time with Katsumi and the others. She doesn't share the eyes, but Daru does have yellow eyes. You don't have to help me. Everyone smiled at her, but Mayuri quickly shook her head. Just paid for more than half the cost of the supplies, right? That's enough to make Mayushi very happy. Making our outfits, so we feel bad if we didn't pay. And you know, I've always wanted to make really neat outfits like you do. Doesn't Yuki have the same voice as, Uzuha? Yep, Mayushi's outfits are always really high quality. I am super grateful. You see, we really wanted to help Mayuri. Okay, let's all make them together. Katsumi knew that it made Mayuri really happy when someone praised her cosplay outfits. Oh, but there's actually a favor I wanted to ask you guys. A favor? You see, Mayuri told them about an event that had quickly become a mainstay of the Japanese holiday year. Having a Christmas party, so Mayushi was hoping that Yuki and Kaede and Fubuki could all come. Oh, but one of them's an Amane! Can you come? I wanna go! Kasumi's only plan for Christmas Eve was dinner with her family, so she raised her hand instantly. One of her friends at school wanted to do anything that night. She'd been a little put out about that since it meant they all had boyfriends. I can go too. Kaede also nodded. Yuki seems a little hesitant. I don't know if I should go. Do you have plans? Of course a girl as pretty as Yuki is gonna have a ton of guys asking her out for a Christmas date. That's not true. At least now I'll take you for myself. I'd rather go on a Christmas day with you than do anything else in the world for Buki. Aw, I love you, Yuki. Thought you only cared about Mayuri. I love Mayushi and I love you too. And we quickly jumped over to Kaede and gave her a big hug. Kaede was soft and smelled good, and doing this sort of sexual harassment was nothing new for her. Oh, and Yuki? Can you show Mayushi how to make a yummy quiche? Yuki was an excellent chef and had been teaching Mayuri a lot lately. Both Katsumi and Kaede would also occasionally participate in what they called Yuki and Mane's cooking lessons. Hey, what kind of quiche? Yeah, she's thinking spinach and mushrooms is good. And tomato and bacon is good too, you know. Just thinking about it makes me drool. Yeah. Not sure. Hey then, I teach you how to make both. Really? That's right. Everyone would be happier if there were lots of different ones, right? It's for the Christmas party? Yep. There's less than a month left, so I want to learn it in time. Yeah, we've been going. 1 o'clock, so we've been going for almost 3 hours. We have to train extra hard. When do you want to do it? Tomorrow? Yeah, Mayushi's okay with that. Sumi went over her schedule in her head. Tomorrow, huh? I'm supposed to meet a friend. I've got work. We really wanted to go, but she was pretty disappointed. Would have loved the chance to eat one of Yuki's good quiches. She thought about the quiche, her stomach began to rumble. It's about time for dinner. Yuki and Mayuri worked out the time and place for their meetup. The place I'm staying is a little far from here, so... How about the lab? Yeah, that's fine. I'll work hard and learn the recipe. Hope it's a fun party. Maybe she's gonna make Santa outfits. Will you all wear them? Are you making even more outfits than the ones we need for Kamima? I'm really excited about this. She is raring to go. Maybe posed like she was cheering. Making Santa outfits, I like one with a cute miniskirt. And then some white knee socks and red boots. All of a sudden I'm thinking of the Kaede Santa pose someone did. That would look so good on you, Kaede, but do you think it would look good on me? Yumi spoke to Mayuri and Yuki without any confidence in her voice. I know you like the cute outfits best. There's nothing Katsumi could say, she was right. Other Katsumi a lot that she looked like a boy. She knew that sort of clothing didn't look right on her. If that hurt, there was a young girl and she wanted to wear cute clothes. So she's the opposite of, Ukiko. Give it to Mayushi! I make clothes that look great on you! Oh, that's my bride! Marry me! This is silly for Buki. Don't talk like Daddy does. Getting compared to that perverted gentleman kind of hurts. Perverted gentleman, what? By the way, you're going to wear that Santa outfit too, right, Mayuri? What? Don't worry at me. You're cute. You should cosplay more. I just make the clothes. I don't wear them. Objection! That's a waste! Aw, not you too, Fubuki.
それに
And what's more,
岡部さんも
but Okabe wants to see you in a cute cosplay outfit.
見たいんじゃないかな。オカリン
Lady made a weird noise as soon as she heard that name.
オカリンさんあ
Oh, Mayushi's boyfriend. Right. We have met him many times. Look at him. Fun fact, I'm actually trying to draw this right now. I'm trying to make art in the Steins style, but it's pretty hard, trust me. Like, getting the outlines isn't hard, but just like, the thing that's gonna be the hardest is getting that art style, right? Like, look at that. This looks like brush, brush, brush. Okay. There we go. This Tabata always looked pale and thin, and whenever he laughed, he seemed kind of sad. But what Mayuri said until just half a year ago, he'd been a totally different person. He said he was haughty and arrogant, but also kind and a great leader. Mayuri was known to let her emotions influence her judgment. Katsumi didn't know how much of that description was accurate. And he started to freak out even more after hearing the word boyfriend.
ね、ふぶきちゃん。オカリンとまゆし
Mayushi, I'd like that, okay?
そういうのじゃないよ。またまた。
Okay, they weren't buying it either. Honestly, Okane and Mayuri seemed more like an old wedded couple that had been together for years than boyfriend and girlfriend.
本当だよ。
It's true.
だって、
Okane has somebody else he
オカリ
likes.
ンには他に好きな人がいるのです。
Mayuri sounded totally unconcerned, which made Katsumi even more surprised.
そうなの？
That true?
本当
Really? Yep. Who could have guessed? Yuki, the eldest who spoke first.
に？ごめんね。
Sorry.
なんか余計
Should we
な
not have said anything? Nah.
まゆし
Mayushi and Okane are childhood friends.
幼
and
馴
get
染
along
で
great.
仲良しさん
So it's okay.
だから大丈夫だよ。そう。
Mayuri's smile seemed very sad to Katsumi. Felt a sudden impulse to give her schoolmate a hug.
それより
Anyway. Mayuri smiled and walked over to Yuki as if to blow away the awkwardness.
ねえ、
So, what about you, Yuki?
私
Me? Yep.
さっき
Are you spending Christmas with your
や
boyfriend?
っぱりクリスマスは彼氏さんと本当
I really don't have one.
そう
Really?
みんな誤解してる
You guys all have the wrong idea.
私そんなに
Not that popular. Between you and me, I've never even had a
年
boyfriend.
齢と彼氏いない歴が一緒だもの。
First Mayuri, then Yuki. Katsumi was stunned.
そうなんですか？
That true?
そこ
I didn't think it would be that much of a surprise.
じゃあ
And Yuki,
いいかな
Mayuri started to fidget.
ダルくん
How
なん
about Daru, maybe?
かな？星田さん？
Yep.
また何を言い出すの？
Hey, where's this coming from, Mayushi? Ashita's a perverted gentleman.
大紳士なんだよ。ユキさんがどこ
Knows what he'll do to Yuki. He looks so different in this this update also. The man had had Katsumi and Kaede one insulting was Itaru Hashida, college student and a member of Mayuri's club. He was a hardcore otaku, one of the hyper types. Said he enjoyed both 2- and 3-dimensional girls. And they gave him more spites. And like Katsumi had said, he was a perverted gentleman. He would say perverse things all day without the slightest shame. Whenever you told him he was a pervert, he would say, "No, I'm a perverted gentleman." He was a dangerous guy. Yuki didn't seem bothered. She actually looked a little sad.
橋田さん
She was a nice guy. But, you know, I don't think he likes girls like me. My reaction, Mayuri, what? He was shocked far above and beyond her usual limit. So surprised, she let go of a suitcase's handle and let it fall to the ground. Instead of picking it up, she started talking frantically. That's not true. Dadu he really likes you. I'm sure of it. Mayushi guarantees it. Her voice was really high there. How he acted when he met him at Summer Kamima? Yuki had met Mayuri 4 months ago at Summer Kamima. Oh, so she actually hadn't met her until... Interesting. Tsumi and Kaede had come wearing outfits Mayuri made. Kaede found Yuki at the convention hall all by herself and they met up. Afterwards, they had gone to a party which she met Mayuri's friend Itaru Hashida. Oh, that was his old art style. I much prefer his old art style. Yumi had definitely witnessed Yuki and Itaru having a friendly conversation. Ever since then, Yuki and Mayuri and Daru had become friends. And Yuki had started going to Mayuri's club, the Future Gadget Lab. In other words, Yuki and Itaru had been talking ever since Summer Kamima. Still, Yuki chuckled sadly and shook her head. No, I can tell. He's avoiding me. I think it's probably best if I don't go to the Christmas party. Aww. I think Hashida likes girls who are more like, a little sister? A little sister who's really strong-willed, and who bosses her big brother around. Like maybe Suzuha? Oh god. I see where this is going. That's... Amazing Mighty looks like she was about to cry. She even wanted to say something but couldn't bring herself to, her lips were quivering. It's nothing. It suddenly didn't look like nothing. Sumi couldn't bear to watch her anymore, so she gave in to her impulses. Don't make that face, you look cutest when you smile. Come on, if you don't smile, I'll tickle you. He stuck behind Mayuri and started to tickle her under her arms. God damn it. Give up? Ibuki! You're so mean! It's so cute, Mayushi. Sorry, I'm enjoying this too much, I'm forgetting to be- oh god. I said that before the scene popped up, okay? It looks pretty funny though. It definitely looks like her head looks a lot more tucked in the sprite, but and then the other art, she's still the same, she just has different clothes. And he was laughing so hard, she was crying, and this time Katsumi succeeded in giving her a hug. Even though they went public, she started rubbing her cheek against her. I like you. I love you. I'm gonna take you home and lick you forever. Jesus Christ, and we thought... You're the one who was calling Daru? That would be really bad. I don't care if it's bad, marry me. I can't do that. And he tried to run away, but Fuki grabbed her and started to kiss her all over. Kinda tired. That's Mayushi's line. Can't have chapter intervals like the last one. The end Katsumi kept. Oops. The end Katsumi. In the end, Katsumi kept clinging to Mayuri until they reached the station. A lot better, but catching Mayuri when she tried to escape used up a lot of energy. Either way, now that she was satisfied. She shuddered and turned back towards Mayuri as an image came into her mind from out of nowhere. What is it? Let's cosplay together at Winter Kamima, okay? As you before, right? For Winter Kamima, Mayushi is just going to make things. That's fine. Just make sure you come to Winter Kamima with the three of us, okay? Cause that's what we did all the shopping for, right? Yeah, but still, it's a promise, okay? Yeah, it's a promise. Yuri and Yuki split up with them in front of the station since they were taking a different train. Bye bye. Good night, Mayuri. Yuki. Atsuma stood still and watched the two of them until they were out of sight. Felt like she was about to cry and looked up to stop the tears from falling. They were standing next to her, looking worried. What's wrong? I'm sorry. It's nothing. Not nothing. There's something going on with Mayuri. Please, tell me. And after Kaede asked, Katsumi wasn't sure she should tell her. No way she'd believe it anyway. You were more hyper than usual today. It felt really forced. You noticed. Of course I did. Me and Kaede had known each other for 2 years. Since their ages were so different, they treated each other like an older and younger sister. At times like this, Kaede was really sharp. Kaede really didn't talk much, but that meant she paid a lot of attention to the people around her. Part of it was also that Katsumi wasn't good at hiding things. Just couldn't lie to Kaede no matter what. Gave up and decided to say it. Yeah? Going to die. What do you mean? I remember the nightmares and the things she kept seeing no matter how much she didn't want to. I have these dreams. Why does Fubuki have them? Dreams? Better than summer, I think. Every night I have dreams about Mayushi dying. Each time you and I are there crying and crying, but there's nothing we can do. What I had last night was the worst. Mayushi just collapses right in front of us, and she stops moving. Akarin is screaming and holding her. He's screaming so loud. What happened to me? Why do I keep having these dreams? Calm down, Fubuki. It's probably just because you're tired. Is it? Is it really? Mayuri today. He was fine, right? I had to give Katsumi a gentle shoulder hug. But it's okay. I don't want Mayushi to die. Impossible. It won't happen. Ever? Ever. Okay. Kaede's words made Katsumi calm down a little. Glad to have an older friend like this. Anyway, it's just your imagination. There's no way something that awful could happen. Anne squeezed Katsumi's shoulder tightly. Being held by like this made Katsumi feel a lot better. Sorry. Being weird. But the night she had the nightmares again. think I might stop it here. Liking that we're getting so many people's perspectives, but there's no significance of when this is gonna end. I feel like it's gonna go another like 10 minutes at least. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna stop here. 31, 120. I should have gone to bed like an hour ago, but because I got back so late for my hair appointment. Yeah, I wasn't able to start when I wanted to, which is unfortunate, but hey, we played a good almost 3.5 hours, okay? We got some podcasts done. And it's definitely interesting so far, but yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. Like, apologies again for the mic issue. I don't know how long that was. I'm trying to export this series to YouTube just like I did with my last one, but I really hope that didn't cut out too much. It's just gonna make me feel bad. That's why I should get a new mic, but I haven't had the time to. Hello, the phone with a satellite, a phone with a stereo. What's the phone wave? But yeah. Man, okay, so we're gonna come back to this the next time I'm able to. I don't know when that's going to be though, because I work tomorrow. Good chance I won't be live until night after. I work tomorrow night and then the morning after, so if I wake up early enough tomorrow, maybe I'll try to see if I can do something, but odds are that's probably not gonna happen. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoying this, because I am definitely I'm loving getting back into this world and seeing the new mysteries that are unfolding. I don't know what this game is going to become, because the first game, it was like half-heart. At the first beginning half was like so fun, and then the pivotal point happens and you're like, oh my god. So what is the pivotal point going to be here? Like, that is what I want to know. Called Steins Gate 0 for a reason, right? But yeah, guys, you have a fantastic rest of your night and have a good one. Bye.